Welcome back to the channel for part 2 of our tofu special. We are going crazy. I literally until this day did not know what we were making. I just left it up to Junko. We're in her capable hands. But now that I do know, I'll let you know. We're doing 3 special tofu dishes that are incredibly easy. I was blown away. She was describing them to me, blown away by how easy they are to make. The first is Agedashi Tofu, just fried tofu. Second is a tofu steak. And the third, a tofu patty. And we are here in Midtown Manhattan. If you can see this outstanding skyline behind me, I think I'm in a dream. But Junko, our lovely chef and guide for the episode, has invited us over to her house. She's going to teach us 3 dishes. It's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait. I literally cannot wait. Let's get to it.
Let's do this. Wrap the tofu with a paper towel, put some weight on, and you take off all the excess water overnight in the refrigerator. All the excess water is in a bottle. If you don't have time, put this in a microwave oven, microwave for 2 minutes, and put on this kind of strainer.
It's like untombing a mummy. The curse of the tofu. Ooh.
And then the other side. You don't cut all the way, serve.
Alright, so what's the first step? So we've got tofu.
No.
Gotta heat that.
Yeah.
So we'll let that come up to temperature. While that's reaching temperature, I can toss it in the, what was it again? Katakuriko, which is just basically potato starch. So there's literally like, maybe a tablespoon. You don't need too much. You don't want it to be too coated, right? Because then it's gonna get, the chunky is gonna fall off the tofu.
Exactly.
So we'll just toss this in. I don't know how many 90s kids are out there, but do you remember shake and bake? I feel like I'm shaking and baking. Did you have that in Japan? You shake the test of music.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Baby.
That's good.
Maybe let's see. No, open it.
That's why you're the master. Looks good. Looks good.
Some yeah. Fine.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good. Set that in there. And now we wait. Don't touch it.
Yes.
Just admire from a distance, because then all the starch is going to fall off.
Yes. Good student.
Thank you. So we're going to test it.
Yeah.
Gently test
feel the crust. Feel the crust.
Be one with the crust.
Feel the crust.
Oh, that feels,
yes.
It feels good.
Ready.
So you can literally feel when it's ready to flip. Like it's not super hard, but the texture is just a little different. Gently, this is your tofu, baby.
And then let's see the color.
Oh, sure. Well,
Do not touch it.
you said to see the color.
That was a test. That was a test. You could say, oh, no, I can't.
Oh.
Okay, so I think the temperature is too high.
Too high, I was just going to say, it
Yeah.
seems to be smoking a little bit.
See? Now it's...
Much better.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice. Nice color.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you.
color. Perfect. Yes.
Add the negi or the scallions to your taste. Good. And there we have it. Agedashi tofu. It is really good. There is a nice crispness to the outside because obviously we sauteed it, which is perfectly juxtaposed against the softness of the tofu inside. It's a great mouthfeel, but I love saying mouthfeel, so we're gonna say it again, mouthfeel.
shiitake mushroom, that one, the dry
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and the maitake, and enoki.
What is this one again?
Shimeji,
Shimeji.
yeah.
Perfect.
Put all the shiitake in, and then cook. Then you can get the flavor from the shiitake.
It's really good, like surprisingly good.
So that's an important thing too.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Put the dashi and the mushroom. Oh, yay! I'll touch you more if you make a mistake.
Oh, oops. Alright, so we're gonna put the dashi in, which is, again, what is dashi? Like
It's a kelp and fish.
So you would say it has a strong fishy flavor, or is it somewhat mild?
Somewhat very mild.
So mild.
Yeah.
Here we go. You don't like fish, and by the time you have all the ingredients with the mushrooms, the mirin, the sake, the soy sauce, you can't even taste the fish. So if you're not into fishy flavors, really don't worry about that whatsoever.
No, it has a sweet flavor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then we're gonna add the mushrooms. Of course, I want to start with the dried shiitake to get that nice mushroom flavor. Again, just kind of add as many or as few as you want.
You can use like a white button mushroom,
Perfect. So really kind of
porcini,
any kind of
or
mushroom.
anything. The mushrooms are done.
Mushrooms are done. There we go. We're gonna turn on the boiler. And you want to bring that up to a boil, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll let that sit for now. Here we go. She's graciously already seasoned our tofu for us. Put that in there. Shake it around. Make sure you cover it all, but again, you don't want too much.
Turn on the preheat the frying pan.
And
Yeah.
it is on. I've literally never made a tofu steak before, but I've made hundreds, thousands, millions, not millions.
Good.
But I've made steak before. It's pretty much the exact same process. It's super simple again. This is almost the exact same process, at least as far as the tofu is concerned, as we just showed you, right?
It's a different kind of flour we are coated with.
And if you can't have wheat flour, you can still kind of substitute with, what's it, like rice flour or any other.
Yeah, rice
Like, it doesn't
flour
really matter.
is perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so put
Goes
some
on,
on.
there we
Yeah,
go. Generous portion.
perfect.
Let me know when to stop.
Yeah, no,
Don't stop. That's good.
that's perfect.
And this is just regular olive oil, not extra virgin or anything.
This is not the regular olive oil. This is a chef's oil.
That's oil. Okay, I should expect as much.
It's a special
from the
olive
chef
oil.
herself.
Yes.
Again, we're gonna test it first. Make sure
Oh,
that
you
everything's
learned.
good.
That's
Looks
fine.
good.
Yes.
There we go. Gently place it there.
Nice.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Don't
Yes.
touch it.
Put some sake.
So this is sake. It doesn't matter what kind of sake.
It doesn't matter.
Cheap,
Cooking
expensive,
sake,
cooking.
yeah, any kind of
Doesn't matter.
sake. But I like the regular sake. And then mirin.
Which is the sweet sake.
Yeah.
All the sugar?
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm sweet enough with it.
Soy
Soy
sauce,
sauce.
just a little bit first, and then you taste, of course, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Your tofu, your different, the tofu. Have to taste your salt, and then taste it, and if you need salt or soy sauce, you add.
That is really good though.
Yeah?
You can really taste the mushroom. That really
Right?
tastes it, which is
Add
exactly
the
what
flavor,
we're like.
right? Yeah. Yes.
There we go.
Good. So,
Okay.
you did?
I did it.
Okay, you taste it?
I tasted it.
Season it up?
Tastes great.
Okay. Turn off the heat,
Okay.
right? And add everything all
want it all at once? Okay.
Yeah.
And again, the starch is added just to kind of thicken up the sauce. It Doesn't really add much
Just
flavor, right?
No flavor. And then mix it. Mix it.
Don't
Mix
forget
it.
about your tofu steak over here.
Yes? Good.
So after you mix it, bring it back up to a boil to cook the starch.
This one, right?
There we go.
The other side? Oh, you did?
I just flipped it, yeah.
Good. So it's almost nothing.
That's
Look
it.
at the sauce. It's
Starting to thicken up quite nicely.
great.
All the flavors in there boiling, mixing together. Seriously, she said we're doing tofu steak. I thought there's no way this is going to be so difficult, but it's actually incredibly simple.
So
This was what, 5 minutes? It might not even 5 minutes.
yeah. Done.
Done.
Perfect, baby. Look at this. So let's do, before you do the surgery.
Embarrass myself trying to cut open the
Right?
tofu steak.
Whoa.
Yeah, it does. It really has the savory.
It's a steak, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
has such a savory smell to it.
And tofu is good too.
So as you imagine, a very similar texture to the fried tofu that we just made. The omegashi dori, the omegashi tofu. Is that right? It's a very similar texture to the omegashi tofu.
Agedashi?
Oh my gosh, very similar texture to the agedashi. Very similar texture to the agedashi tofu that we just had, as you would imagine, because it's prepared the same way. But there's the extra umami from the garlic, which I absolutely love. If you saw the ramen video we did, you should check it out. I think what really sells this dish for me is actually the sauce. Of course, the sauce. It's always about the sauce. It's just so flavorful. The mushrooms have really come out into the sauce. It's not, again, it's not overpowering. We did use some more flavorful dried shiitake, which I'm really enjoying. Again, you can use whatever mushrooms you want, dried or otherwise, but the sauce really, oh. And it's got this meatiness to it, texture-wise. There's a bite to it, almost like a burger. Not as firm as a burger, but
Well,
definitely.
you can make it harder.
Yeah, you can always make it harder.
Yeah. Or softer.
Or softer. It depends on what you want. So I think tofu is so good for me because it really complements the flavor that you're putting in it or on it. It's just the perfect vessel to kind of exhibit whatever flavor that is, be it takoyaki sauce, be it a mushroom sauce that you made, or of course, ketchup.
Man.
Mayo.
Anything. Sauce.
Soy sauce. It really is, it just takes on that flavor and embodies it perfectly. That's why I like it. Thank you, Junko, so much for joining us for these 2 episodes, especially for this, opening my eyes, opening hopefully their eyes to the possibilities of tofu. I cannot express how grateful we are for you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you very much.
So thank you for joining us on these special episodes, and we'll see you again as we take another bite out of the Tofu Apple.